Konstantinos KARETSAS. Who is that? Why are we talking about him? Well, we're going to get into it. Are Arsenal actually close to signing him? Some of the reports coming out this morning suggest so, but we're going to approach this rationally. If you are new to the channel, please could I ask you to subscribe? We've hit 18,000. We hit it last night, so now we're on the way to 19,000. 19 for Leandro Trossard. And if you could like the video as well, I would be massively grateful. But look, Konstantinos KARETSAS, not a name we had spoken about at any point until right here and now. And I'm not going to pretend that prior to this morning, I knew particularly who he was. Although Piklas, shout out to Piklas, who is one of our regulars, is a big fan because he's Greek. He's 17, turns 18 in November, has broken through at Genk this season, made a number of appearances for them. He's also made his debut for Greece this season, played twice against Scotland in March, scoring in one of those games. He's a left-footed attacking midfielder, which is why I'm skeptical about some of these links. But there's no doubt that he is a very promising young talent. So let's get into it, and let's start with where these links came from. So Chris Wheatley is probably the most prominent journalist that has spoken about it. He said Arsenal are in talks to sign highly rated Genk midfielder Konstantinos KARETSAS in a deal that could rise to 45 million euros, including bonuses, according to reports in Greece. Now, this is crucial. So he says according to reports in Greece. So then you say, okay, what are these reports in Greece? And this is where it seems to have originated from. Arsenal are close to an agreement of 45 million euros with Genk for Konstantinos KARETSAS. The 17-year-old would then stay a year in Belgium before joining Arsenal in 2026. Information from AMNA News. So who are MNA News? This is the account that has been linked. It is a Greek outlet, 108,000 followers. So, clearly a reasonable sized outlet in Greece. But on that page, throughout their page, there is no mention of Arsenal or KARETSAS being close to a move to Arsenal. I clicked on the English version of the account, and again, it just says it's an Athens-based news agency, Macedonian press agency, and again, no mention of Arsenal or KARETSAS. So I can only assume that it has come from, a different non-social media part of the news agency, but it's not, it's not David Ornstein. Let's be honest, it's not David Ornstein. Now, that can go one of two ways normally, right? When you have a local news source, effectively, obviously KARETSAS is a big name in Greece because he is seen as a massively high potential player coming through and an exciting young talent. This could be KARETSAS's old PE teacher's auntie's hairdresser that's given the information, or it could be someone much closer to him and someone that actually knows something that the big journalists don't know. But there are a few reasons that I'm skeptical around Arsenal supposedly spending, what is that, 38 million quid, 45 million euros on a 17-year-old. And not just a 17-year-old, but a 17-year-old left-footed central midfielder, more of an attacking midfielder. When we've got Max Dowman coming through, we've got Martin Ødegaard, and we've got Ethan Nwaneri. We have three left-footed central midfielders, attacking central midfield. It would seem like a particularly peculiar use of our funds, and especially when you're seeing stuff like this. Now, transfers.com, again, it's not David Ornstein. They are saying Man City and Barcelona have expressed an interest in Max Dowman, and there's no doubt probably every big club in the world has expressed an interest in Max Dowman. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is give Man City and Barcelona the ability to go to Max Dowman's camp and say, hey, Arsenal are spending big money on a player that's very similar to Max Dowman. Are you sure that his future's at Arsenal? And look, it's just that's not a can of worms that you want to open. There are another couple of things, because I posted this morning why I just don't believe that we would spend 45 million euros on KARETSAS. And some people said, and I said, we've got a limited budget, right? So we've got a limited budget. Why would you commit, that much of the budget to a 17-year-old who's not even going to be at the club next season, according to that report, that he would stay in Belgium? And again, people said, well, we don't have a limited budget, but we do. This came out today in terms of PSR. and the figures you can see there, you might not be able to read them because they are small, are the amount that a club could afford to lose and still be within PSR. And for Arsenal, we're down there on £97 million. So we do have a bit of a limit on our budget, and the PSR limit is not a target. So that you don't. Yes, you can afford to lose £97 million. That doesn't mean you want to. If I've got, I don't know, £800 in my bank account to last me for the summer, yes, I could afford to spend £800, but I might not want to spend all of it all at once. It's not a target. So there's that. And then other people said, but Mertesacker been given a budget for the academy. This came out from Gunner Blog a couple of days ago. But again, that budget, because we never used to spend anything at all bringing in academy players, that budget is so that he can spend like 500 grand here, $1 million here, like the Blackburn Rovers striker that we've supposedly signed for £1 million, not 38 million quid. Like, we've not allocated per Mertesacker 25% of the total budget for the summer. So I just would find it very peculiar for us to make this move. That said, KARETSAS is a very interesting player. And I'm actually going to bring this up, which is a little bit of a compilation of KARETSAS. And Waneri a little bit. And this is what I'm saying. I feel like we've got it at home. And maybe he's slightly better. I mean, the goal that he scored for Greece against Scotland was a wonderful finish. I actually think that was back here somewhere. Where was the goal he scored? I can't find it now. But he scored a wonderful goal. But he does just look, he looks good. Looks great. But I'm just not, these sorts of, the way he takes the ball, it's Max Dowman in a nutshell. So I just don't understand why we would go for it. Anyway, before we get copyright struck or anything like that, we'll get rid of that. But I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Obviously, kind of made a video about this one off the cuff just because it did. It was last night that it appeared out of nowhere. No, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will do a greenery check. Oh, of course we'll do a greenery check. Let me just quickly bring this up for you. Let me quickly bring the whole greenery check up because I have done a bit of a check on him already. So these were the two games that he played in March for Scotland. Interestingly as well, actually, towards the end of the season. So the way it works in Belgium is that they go into these playoffs. So the top 6 in the league then go into like a mini league where they compete for the title. Genk actually massively bottled the league. But in the final couple of games especially, where they recovered and they won against Ghent and Anderlecht, he started both of those games. So, this is a promising young player. I think in total this season he played 20 times, played nearly 1,700 minutes, 3 goals, 2 assists. It clearly is a very, very promising and talented young player. But these are all the games that he's played. This is interesting. 3 goals from 3.77 XG, 48 shots. Not afraid to take a shot, as you can see. And he takes them from all over the park. And this shows you the freedom that he currently has. Whether or not you'd get that sort of freedom at Arsenal, I'm not convinced you do. But again, if you look at Max Dowman, if you look at highlights of Dowman, whether he's playing for the England under-17s, Arsenal under-18s, wherever it is that he's playing, he also has that same sort of freedom. You'll see him dropping deep, at times picking the ball up off the centre-backs in the middle of the park. He'll drift out to the right wing. He'll drift out to the left wing. When you are that level at that age, you can kind of get away with whatever you want. But in terms of per 90s, this is comparing him to wingers and attacking midfielders in the Belgian league. Goal-scoring output, not green, not brilliant, but that will come. Takes plenty of shots still. This is really nice, though. Really high on the greenery for chance creation, successful crosses, cross accuracy, long ball accuracy. So that's definitely promising. 0.24 expected assists per 90. Again, that's decent. He's been unlucky, seemingly, that not as many of those have been converted into assists as they should have done. Very good at winning fouls, which is useful. High touches, again, very useful. Successful dribbles, decent. Then you come down here, recoveries, possession one in the final third. I'm sure that's something that he can work on. Martin Ødegaard thrives in that sort of area. But look, overall, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's just interesting that this has come out. If it had been that it had come out that, Arsenal had inquired or Arsenal were interested or, any of those normal bloody words that we get, to be quite honest with you, pursuing, chasing, courting. If that had come out, I'd have been like, okay. It was the fact that it came out as saying we were close, close to signing him with a figure and a number. I found it strange. We'll wait and see how it progresses. Like I said, do subscribe, turn notifications on, because if anything substantial comes out, we will be going live straight away. There might be a live later on today, to be honest. It's lunchtime. I've not even had my lunch yet. So plenty of time for things to develop throughout the day. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Until then, goodbye.